Hi everyone, it's Donna Marie from Relish Cooking Studio, and today I'm going to show you how to cook asparagus. I've actually got two different methods that I want to show you. One is blanching and the other one is roasting. Two of my favorite ways, especially roasting, but it depends on what it is that you're using asparagus for. One style might suit your cooking option more than the other. So let's first start with the blanching asparagus. I've already got a pan of hot water here on a boiling point, and I've also got a bowl of ice cold water sitting here. And you kind of need those two because the process of blanching is to basically take your vegetable, and in this case the asparagus, and you're going to plunge it into hot boiling water for a minute to 2 minutes, and then from there it's going to immediately come out and go into a bowl of ice cold water, and that will stop the cooking process. So this is a wonderful way to cook asparagus if you're doing a lovely salad. And so I'm going to just show you right now that process. So I've got some asparagus ready to go for blanching. When you are preparing your asparagus, you also want to make sure that you trim your ends. You don't need to use a knife, but the asparagus, if it's nice and fresh, will have a good snap, and it snaps immediately where you need it to snap. So just sort of put your fingers and let that snap naturally happen where it's going to go. Some people like to peel their asparagus. I'm not necessarily a peeler, I'm just going to use it as is. So we take the asparagus, and for fresh asparagus we want to make sure we've got nice tight stalks, nice tight buds on the stalk, that it's not starting to get a little funky at all, because sometimes I do see it like that. But this is really nice, and of course it's asparagus season, so it should all be snapped and ready to go. So we're going to take the asparagus and we're going to plunge it into the water, and immediately you'll start to see that color changing. It'll start to go from sort of that dull pale, dull green to a really bright green. We don't want to cook it for 5 minutes because that's going to overcook it, and we want it to still have that nice snap when we are going to make it for a salad. So we're just going to leave it in there for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be able to take it out and plunge it into the ice cold water. Okay, I think our asparagus has cooked long enough. So basically, using a pair of tongs, I'm just going to lift out this asparagus from the hot boiling water, and now I'm going to plunge it into my ice cold water bath. And it's just going to sit in that ice cold water bath for 5 to 10 minutes, and then it will be cooled down enough so it'll be ready to continue to use for your salad that you may wish to have. It's also great if you're going to put it on an appetizer or maybe a crudité platter. This is the way you kind of want to be able to serve it. So let's just wait for a few minutes, and then I'll show you how nice and crunchy it's going to be. Okay, I think our asparagus has sat long enough now in the cold water bath. So now I'm just going to take it out, and I'm going to place it on some paper towel. You can even put it on a tea towel and let the excess water drain off. This is a great way to even do make-ahead asparagus, because it's wonderful to be able to just even wrap it up like this in the paper towel or the tea towel and store it in the refrigerator for a few days and make your salad at a later time. But I'm just going to unwrap it here so I can just show you how we still have this wonderful crunch or snap to the asparagus, and it's delicious. So that's how you make blanched asparagus. The other option, and one of my favorite ways for cooking asparagus or almost any vegetable, is to roast it. So I have my asparagus ready on my baking sheet. I have some parchment paper underneath. That just helps to protect the pans a little bit more. So basically, I've snapped my asparagus. They're all lined up. You don't want to overcrowd them too much. So, I mean, I can put some more on this pan, but a pound of asparagus fits very nicely on a roasting pan. So basically now I'm going to take some olive oil, and I'm just going to drizzle the olive oil over top of the asparagus, like so. Okay, and I'm going to season it with just a little bit of kosher salt, and I'll give it a little bit of a grind of fresh pepper. Now there's certainly other dry seasonings and spices, but this is just a great way to start with your roasting process. All right, I'm gonna pop it into a really hot oven. Mine's gonna go in at 425. You can go in anywhere from 375 to 450. You just need to be aware of your time. So at 425, I'm gonna need to roast the asparagus for about 8 to 10 minutes until it's got a nice crisp, but it's not overcooked. Okay, so the asparagus has been in the oven for about 10 minutes and it is perfect. It's got some nice little bit of golden brown on it. It's sizzling and it's exactly the way we want it for our dishes that we're gonna make. So depending on whether you're roasting or you're blanching, either of these two ideas or cooking techniques are perfect for doing asparagus. And be sure to check out some of our recipes on our website, like our asparagus and goat cheese tart, which uses roasted asparagus, our asparagus salad with a creamy herb dressing, which would be blanching, and also our roasted asparagus with our hazelnut dressing is another great recipe where we use the roasting technique. So these are some fantastic ways to cook asparagus.